Hi, everyone. Hey, hey, hey. Happy hump day. It's Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026. Hope everyone is doing well. Trying to bring some color here into your lives. I don't know about you, but where I am, it's raining. Hopefully not for too long, though. So, welcome, welcome. I'm glad everybody's here. Take a second for everybody to come on in and take a seat and relax. We're going to do some different things today. I sort of got some stuff planned, but like as always, I go with the flow. I have some papers I want to show you some papers that I've dyed with sprays and stuff, and then I want to do the same thing with some other papers that I have here to show you how I do that. Because more often than not, I do it off camera. Um, but I'll do some on camera today. We'll get some paper sprayed. And then I've got some magazines I want to go through and kind of um, cut out stuff that I can use for collage and things like that. Um, hmm, what else? Yeah, so we're gonna start with those two things, and then we'll see. Oh, also got some post-it notes here that I have to glue into one of my little art journal things, and I'll explain more about that later. Um, and that'll be fun. Anyway, so I am gonna go here to oh, you know what? I need to pull up my chat here so I can see all you lovely people who are here. Say hello in the chat, guys, and don't forget to hit that like button. That's much appreciated. It's a great way to let people know that I'm live and that I am um, here and that we're hanging out. Also, if you feel so compelled, please share the live stream um, with a friend or a foe. Doesn't matter. Just share it. Free way to help. All right, one sec here. Let me get the right list because it's weird when you're watching lately, like on my computer, when I'm watching one live stream and I leave that live stream, but then I go to another one immediately after and I open the chat there. It's like the same chat from that live stream, and the chat takes a second to update to the live stream you're actually on. So it's weird. Okay. I don't know if that's my computer being slow or or if it's YouTube being weird again. It's probably more me. All right, let's go here. All right, so if you said hello in the chat, you're on my list, and if you didn't, well, throw me some hands in the chat, and I will be glad to say hello. Christina, hi. Adrian's here. Ann Webb's here. Carol Buckingham's here. Jeanette from Maine is here. Paula Keen, my queen from Amsterdam's here. K-pop Mama. PM Artist Studio, Mariah and Patricia. Hello, hello. Rosemary's here. She was the first one here. Rosemary was in the chat, first one to say hello. So hello, Rosemary. Tegan's here. Hi, Tegan. And Zal, my pal. Zal's here. Hi, Zal. Hope you're well. Hope you're doing good. Okay, so let me get back to the right screen here so I don't confuse myself. And of course, I didn't pay attention to my times, and I placed a delivery order for to arrive around like in a few minutes. So I'll have to get up in a few minutes just to grab that, but it's all good. Hi, Carrie. Carrie the crafter. Welcome, sir. Yeah, glad you can make it to a live. So let me show you some things here that I have on my desk. These are papers we started on the last live stream using Darcy Stamps flower centers. And these were just on brayer offs. And then this was a print that was just like mainly just a paint, like you really can't tell much. So I went over it with some like I said, of Darcy Stamps, the flower centers. And then I did one layer while I was with you. After that dried, I came back in with different colors and added more layers of those stamps. This one actually has some of the circular stamps from PM Artist Studio in festive green. This stuff here. Patricia, where you at? I know you love this. This is one of Queen Peace favorites, festive green. You can see that there. All right. So then I did some dyeing with sprays and such on some papers. So this was originally just the tealish color print. And so this has been sprayed many times back and front. Okay, who jumped in there? I saw somebody jump in there. Hi, Christine Cowdrey. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Welcome. Oh, awesome, Carrie. Great. I look forward to that. I have a lot of catching up to do on video watching. Um, I just hit a button. I don't know what I did. Hang on. Here we go. Yeah, so what was I saying? Lost my train of thought. Anyway, so we got some different color sprays on here and some shiny stuff. Cowdroy. Here's another one. I love these. This one, I took some of this. I recently got some donated art supplies. And where are you, buddy? Where's the ink? Haven't gone that far. There's a bottle of ink that's missing from me life. Oh, that's a bummer. Why can't I find this ink? It's beautiful gold ink. I don't know where it is. I literally just had it. Oh, that's a bummer. I know it's probably staring at me right in the face. Hi, Penka. Hi, Rhonda. Welcome. Welcome. Did I perhaps put it in the wrong spot? Stuff's gonna fall, guys. Don't worry. I'm just throwing stuff around, trying to find my things. Oh, you poopy head, where are you? Here it is, right in my face. This is a copper plate gold, Dr. P.H. Martin's. That's this cool nonsense going on there. Hi, Carla. You know what, Carrie? It's that, and also I have just a lot of stuff around. Like all compacted it in like arm's length area, so I'm like trying to see everything at once. But yeah, that too as well, Carrie. All right, take care, Adrian. I'm glad you stopped in for a minute to say hi. Thanks. And this one here is cool. This is with just a white flop off of paint with Christy Hartman stencil cone flowers, and then I sprayed onto that. See there. Hi, Michelle with one L. All right, my delivery's here, guys. Look at these pretty papers, and I'll be right back. Hi. Hello. How are you? What did you get popped the other day? Thank you so much. Nobody wants. All right, Mariah, are you paying attention? Give me a thumbs up if you're here, Mariah. I need all eyes on deck. Hi, Lynn. Did I say hi, Carla? Don't know if I did. Hi, Carla. How are you? It's pretty sad, Paula. Let's guess what he ordered for $60. It ain't that much, let me tell you what. Anyway, so I was talking to Mariah the other day and to Darcy. I just haven't been feeling well, not feeling myself, tired, and I'm still tired. You can hear it in my voice. I'm just like, oh God, you know. Hi, Becky. How are you? Um, so they all recommended I needed to get some vitamins in me. So I just want to show you because I told them I would get it, and I did. So I got some adult gummy pro and prebiotic all in one, and some vitamin D3. So there you go. I got my vitamins, so you don't have to worry. I did what I said what I was gonna do. All right, so that was part of my delivery. The rest was just food and for me and cat food. I guess yeah, I gotta feed them kitties. Hi, Ro. Yeah, so these are more of the dyed papers. Remember this one? This one was kind of funky because it was like sort of dark purple and or like a purple color, and then it had the white showing of the paper, and then I flopped off the stencil with the metallic gold paint on there. So I went over it with some of this bluish spray, and that's actually yeah, Collage. This stuff here, this is turquoise, vibrant turquoise. This is the Dilutions ink sprays that I like to use. And it just, I think it made it a little cooler. I like it a little bit better. Now this one, it was the cone flowers um, in the red paint. And it really just, it didn't, it had like some yellow in the background from the previous print. And instead of doing anything drastic, I decided just to boost the yellow because I thought the yellow with this red would be a really good um, contrast. What I intend to make with these papers, Paula, you know as well as I do not know. This is stuff I make, and when I need it, I have it. It is what it is for now. Hi, Shannon. Hi, Bruja. So this was like this is my box of sprays. Where's the yellow? There's no, not that one. So two yellows here, and I gotta be careful because one is all sparkly business and the other one is not. Sparkly business tends to sometimes overpower things. You gotta be careful. Quickly here, Ro. Eddie, I forgot to ask Mariah yesterday, can you use those sprays on newsprint papers? Yeah, I don't see why not. I don't see why you could not. Hi, Dorothy, welcome. So this is the one I use on here, this yellow one. It's called Pure Sunshine, just like me. Um, that's what that is. So you can see here. You know what's funny is it's my Rangers that clog up the most, not my Dilutions. But you know, try to keep them clean, but they're always messy. Now this one was different. This one I took some golden fluid acrylic in ultramarine blue, and I watered it down, and I just went over the whole thing with the brush. and kind of just, I hit all over, but then can see like obviously it didn't. I kind of it didn't stick in these areas as much because there's a lot of paint there. So, but where the paper was, was mostly shown is where it got that blue and it got the really cool effect, I think. These, so this is the gold from that long haul I did. And then this is the back, it was all purple. So now to go back to what you asked, Paula, about what I'm going to use these for. I was thinking that, but I may take a bunch of the dyed papers and make a little book out of them. Just, fold them up together. Because in a lot of them, I did take the time to make sure that the backs were sprayed so that both sides are good, but we shall see. And then this one was fun. This one, the paint was in this aqua color that was all what was on there. It was just that and the white paper. And I used some of the oxide inks on the gel plate and kind of ombre them, and then sprayed a little water, picked it up with the paper, added some more sprays on the back, and did a bunch of stuff, and even some like sparkly stuff. Do you want some of these, Monroe? You hit me up on the lightning bolt. We can chat for sure. So we'll see. Somebody said hello, and I need to know who. I don't know who. What else? What else? Okay. Hi, Jackie. Now, this one was fun because this one was just like a cleanup sheet. So, like, let's say there's a little excess moisture on the paper. I would take this and just like that. Right? That's what I did with that. So, there's always a possibility for extra fun papers. Hi, Patty. Welcome. Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a second, Paula. Don't you worry. I'm gonna go over these. These are prints from the same session and other sessions. So this one, I don't know if you remember, this one was just the metallic on the paper. These are all, I'm gonna say, these are 99% Carnival wet strength tissue. So I did not have a problem with them when I wetted them down with the inks and stuff. So this was actually a blue oxide spray. Twas it? It was this one here, Prize Ribbon Distress Oxide Spray. Now this one I sprayed from the back. So you have more of the oxidey stuff on the back, and then the inky blue, beautiful blue comes through here. So look at that. Ooh, ooh. Hi, Graham. How are you? I'm thirsty here. Mm. All right, so I have this lovely one. So remember, I just showed you that print with all the gold on it and the purple in the back. So this from the same session. This was pulled after that one was pulled here. And then from the back, you can see I sprayed two different colors on the back to create that. And then this one was several flop offs and cleaning of the stencil when I was using Rhonda's crack on stencil. And then I did a print with the gold, and I used this paper to pick up the gold all around the edges as like cleaning it up to create this frame around the actual design. So It created this really cool frame around my gel print here, and then I went with some like oceany colors to dye my paper, and I got this wonderful print, which honestly, I think this is a great one. I would love to frame it if I ever got the opportunity to. I think this was a frameable one. Let me kind of move it so you guys can see really good like details up here. It's nice. I like it. I do like it. Okay. This one was pretty boring too, and I just came in hard and heavy with the red. I said, this is gonna be one of those that is like very subtropical, very spicy prints. Something you would see in a fabric at a wedding. Something really saucy, spicy, caliente. Right? Lava, yes, lava. This one's fun too. I kind of got a little crazy too. I threw a little stuff on here that was a little darker than I expected, but tis what it is. There's that one. This one here. Hello, Carrie Barnaba. Welcome, welcome. And so you have here the coneflowers outlined from the stencil. So this is basically, I took the stencil, the wet stencil, I laid it down on my Carnival wet strength tissue. And I keep saying that because it's the particular tissue I'm using, because when you do this technique with regular tissue, it can tear. And with the Carnival wet strength, I don't have to worry about that. So this is when I lay down the stencil onto the tissue and, left and rubbed onto the stencil to remove whatever I could onto the tissue. So from the back, you can see there's a couple of different sprays I used. And then I came back with some mica spray on top to give it some shine. And they feel so good once they're dry. They feel really yummy. This one here. This one I just decided to go pinky. Sort of pinky red. Yeah, I don't think she's taking orders, Graham. Graham wants a latte, Zal. Client canceled. Oh, boo. Sorry, Graham, about that. Sorry for the client, I guess. This one I just stayed simple with some couple of different colors here, but I liked it. It's got a cool vibe to it. And then this one, well, I went a little heavy with the shine here because I didn't realize how much I put on a lot, and then I tried to take some off, but it's still pretty shiny. But I like it. This is definitely something I would see Mariah using in one of her projects. This is a very Mariah vibe. Look how cool, even cool from the back. That's the fun thing about these is like you can use either side really. So let's get to shining. That's why I got this drop thing on here. This is a piece of craft packaging. It's a little heavier than most of them, so it's good to use as a kind of a catch-all. Let me get these out of the way. Oh, and let me show you Linda. If you guys haven't seen Linda from Linda the bug. This is the stamp. I think it was Joni. So I stamped off a bunch of these the other day, and with also Karen McCoy's new stamps with the words, the peace, joy, grace, love. And so from the same paper, I just took and ripped out the words and attached them to Linda so I can use them in different projects or give them out, whatever. Linda Joy. Despite her acne, she's joyful. Linda loves. Linda is all about peace and grace. She's graceful until she falls. Until she falls flat on her bum. All right, I'm gonna get this out of the way. Okay. Don't want to see a dirty tissue. Oh, and allergies are so bad the last couple of weeks. Ugh, it's not fun. Okay, so here I have a water, spray bottles of water, importante, to help spread your dyes and whatever. That's what I use. Um, got some paddle brushes ready to go to spread the love. You can use a regular brush if you want. Um, you don't have to use a brush at all. So these are some prints I had from a long haul that I saved, and they're up on a tube, paper towel tube. So I'm gonna pick out some sheets here that could use some dyeing. Like this, I wouldn't dye with sprays, mainly because it's pretty solid already. And if anything, I would add a another layer of a stencil or something on there. Something like that. This one we could definitely dye. So why don't we start with this one here? We'll go from there. We'll do a few of these. I don't have a lot of space to like leave these like sitting around everywhere and drying. So I'm gonna do the best I can to do some of these, and hopefully they'll dry quickly. So I like to start spraying from the back. I think that it works out better that way. Hi, Michelle Waltz. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. It's much appreciated. It goes a long way to help the channel. So let me save this little string, little tube. So with this one, there's like some like teal and dark green, and obviously the gold in here, a little bit like orangey red. We can do all sorts of stuff. Here, I'm gonna start. I'll just where am I? Steins here. Now this one is this blue. This is actually not Salty Ocean. It says Salty Ocean, but I think I filled it with some of this because I was running out of the Salty Ocean. This is Blueprint Sketch Stain. I don't know. Tis what it is, and we'll start with that. So we get a brush, we'll spray some water. So I'm going to start down on this end here. All right, and then just take your paddle brush and go around. And obviously, where the paint is, it's not going to stick as well. So the acrylic. So take those puddles. And I go section by section. Let's see how that looks. And if you don't oversaturate it, it doesn't. It's easy to work with, especially because it's not going to tear on you. So that's why I recommend the wet strength tissue for this sort of thing. But look, see. We'll do a little more of that. Let me show what it looks like without spraying the water first. Obviously, it's not going to spread as easily. And you're going to get more of this like spray thing going on left behind. So if you're into that, that's great. I prefer to smooth it out somewhat. All right, what did I miss here? We should all have this is from Roe. We should all have a mixed media convention where we can all share tips, drink coffee, and hang out. Yeah, totally. Is it Duke in my gold? Rhonda, that's a personal question. Well, let's take a look here. How is that? Sometimes I take a little rag or something and I just go over this, the painted part. Not much coming up because we're going from the back really. But no, look. That's another reason I go from the back. So it does not dull my shine. See, look at that. All right. Take care, Carrie. Thanks for hanging out. A little extra love there. Get my edges. I've been missing these edges over here. And then you can go over it again once it's dried. If you want to intensify your color, certainly do that. I'm easily satisfied, so doesn't take much. I don't usually have to go back over it. Let's darken this up too here. So we have this little, so it's not like patchy. Patchy, we don't need no thinking patchy. It's very satisfying to do this, by the way. And in just a few minutes, you can transform just a plain old print to something fabulous like this that you can frame on its own. You can use to cover a book. You could use to cover a box. You could do all sorts of stuff with it. I'm going to take a hair dryer to this for a couple just to help it along so I can do more of these and they're not all, sticking together from being wet. So give me just a moment. Talk amongst yourselves. That's pretty dry already. There's a little bit, just a little, like a tiny, tiny bit damp, but overall it's dry. And you see how much lighter it dries? It's not as dark, and we still have the shine. Beautiful, right? Okay. This one here. All right. So obviously this one's mostly greens. All right. Take care, Ro. Thanks for hanging out. Have an awesome day. Some greens and stuff here. We'll start with the yellow. We're gonna go yellow, and what else? There was another one I wanted to use earlier. I wonder what it do. I wonder what it's like to be loved by you. Eddie, asks Paula, how do you glue these down when there's such metallic goodness on these papers? Well, Paula, I use a gloss medium. That helps keep the shiny because otherwise, um, yeah, you would dull your shine. Sorry, oh, brain glitched there for a second. Carla says, I was hoping you would choose that rich blue. Okay, which blue is you talking about and for which print? So right now I'm on the green print here. Carla, and which is the blue? You want me to do the blue with this one? I'll wait until I hear from you, Carla, so I know what you mean. Now this one I pulled out. This is this is peony blush. I said peony, not the other thing. Peony or peony. Spray on here so you can see what this looks like. That would be interesting. Like do the yellow in the center and then kind of bloom it out with that color. Let me think. We could do that. I'm waiting for you, Carla, love. Everyone's waiting for you. I'm gonna give Carla one more minute to respond. If I don't hear from her, I'm gonna just sally forth with my original idea. And I hope I haven't lost y'all. Seems like Wi-Fi is being a real prickle here today. Hello, Paula K. How are you? Thank you so much, Paula K. Well, Carla, I waited. I did, I did my best, Carla. Yeah, she might be. Always remember when you're in a live stream, hit that live button on the video and make sure your chat is on live and not top messages. Live will keep you in the loop. No, the gold one with the blue, it was gorgeous. Oh, so you like that one? Okay, okay. Gotcha. Thank you for the response, Carla. Much appreciated. And I hope you don't mind us teasing you a little bit. All right, so let's do this. Let me get this. Moisten up your paper, kids. All right, so we don't need that much going on here. I think with this, instead of spraying the pink, I'm gonna add it to my brush and then brush it out. I think that would be better. Careful, be careful. Kind of like ombre it in. Should do it over here so I don't spill it all over. Of course, I'm holding it with my spastic left hand, so be prepared. This may go everywhere. Lovely. No, I thought you were talking about maybe like as a suggestion, Carla. So I wanted to make sure I got it right before I went on and did something that was totally like, blah. Wait, I wanted your input. You're always positive, Carla, with great ideas, so that's why I wanted to wait and find out from you. Let's see how this is looking. Not too bad, not too bad. Do some of the edges. And I made sure I wore a very dark shirt today so that in case, I got a little out of hand, it wasn't too bad. Although even with the dark shirt, I tend to get it all covered in stuff. Like it's funny, yesterday I was wearing a shirt where on the top of my left shoulder, there was a little piece of it was white paint, basically. It was a spot of white paint. So all day I'm looking over there at my shoulder, like out of the corner of my eye, trying to wipe it off because I think it's a piece of dust or something. And it wasn't. It wasn't just paint. But like Becky says, I'm an artist, so it's okay. Who cares? Just a little paint. Now I wonder. Come or some yellow, kind of maybe blend it a little more. Oh, I know, Graham, because you've been doing adult stuff. You've been working and helping people. So I am glad that you can hang with us for a while too. Bruce says I can't use sprays without full coveralls. I was like that for a while. You look at this as I say that. And then I realized you gotta just take it easy, dude. Like that stuff is everywhere. But it's fun. It's fun. All right, let's see what this looks like. Oh, it's not bad. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a going over with the blow dryer. This is lovely. I like it. It makes me happy. I don't know why, but it really does. It's quite cheerful. A nice flower. Did you guys see Therese make flowers out of her tissue paper? Make a pretty flower. The other thing I love about the wet strength tissue is I can crumple it up a little bit. I can still smooth it out if I want to. Nice. Mariah says sprays are the confetti of the mediums. You are absolutely right. Yep, that's right, Carol. Well, I grew up with a mom who loved glitter. It was glitter everywhere. So like there was always glitter somewhere in the house, somewhere on me, so I was used to it. Not saying that I love it or would, be all about it. I don't really use the glitter, but experiment question. My new Cricut cutting mat is so sticky that all my bits have stayed in place. Oh no. You sure you got the right mat? I should have said, how sticky is it? Let's see. I'm going over it with wet strength and a candle. Do you reckon I could spray the papers? Wait, so is it stencil bits? Is it Yupo bits that are stuck to your mat or paper? Because if it's paper, oof, oh no. Yo no sé, Paula. It's a dilemma. Yeah, I think a lot of us do, Carol. We tend to flock to the shiny. Let's see here. This little boring thing can use some love. Let's see what we can do with that. I got some purple sprays that could bust out. So this was just, I think this was permanent rose was the paint. It's actually the same as this peony spray. So now we know what to use. Hi, Casey. Hello, hello. AKA resist. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I had that happen, but it's because I used the wrong mat, Paula. I used the mat meant for fabric and I put Yupo on it. Ooh, it still has the Yupo on it, let's just say, and I'm not even gonna mess with it. It's just there. It's in a pile over there, hanging out. Where's my purples? Oh, what's this? This is no. This is a lovely one. This one is laid back lilac. Oh, this is a cornflower blue mica spray. This is Gusher grape. That just sounds gross. Because I'm a gross person. This is, I believe, the periwinkle blue. Yep, it's trash day. It's usually not trash day on Wednesday here, but on Monday, Massachusetts observes a holiday called Patriots Day. So everything was shut down, but it's also because that's the day they run the Boston Marathon, which was pretty exciting. I don't know if anybody watched that. Um, it's always exciting to watch. It's a tradition and something I look forward to. I'm not a sports person or anything like that, but it's just one of those events that is just really exciting and it's fun and it's a beautiful event. A lot of great athletes, runners compete from all over the world. And oh, she did, Jeanette. Oh, that's awesome. It's a tough marathon. It's one of the toughest marathons out there, um, but it's fun to watch. Obviously, not running. So yeah, that's a wonderful thing too. A lot of people who do run the marathon raise money for all sorts of worthy causes and stuff like that. So it's a wonderful thing. And there was a guy I saw. who runs the marathon in a suit, because he says, "I'm going to run these streets like these streets once ran me." That's his thing. So everybody's got a thing, which is great. The wheelchair runners are fantastic. That's some fantastic athleticism right there. One of the top wheelchair runners, I believe, was from the Netherlands. Because you have to compete in different competitions around the world, and that's how you get ranked and get accepted. It's to get a number or whatever for the race. All right, so let's stop talking. Let's just do it. We'll do this purple here. How about that? This is like dioxazine purple. Dioxazine. Like when you spray it, that's what it looks like. I'm trying to blend this up a little bit so it's not as harsh. Oh, I forgot this one's a little darker. It's a little more bluer, I think, this one that I just sprayed. Well, I like a smoother look, Carol. Carol asks, why does a person rub it in rather than let it sit? Personal question, Carol, but I'm going to answer it for you as best I can. What I like to do is rub it in because I don't like the splotchiness. That makes sense. Some folks like it, and it's all it's all personal preference, really. This is just I'm showing you how I do it. Um, but you do you. Like if I were to leave it like this, I would kind of get annoyed of the bits that don't have the coloring on it, but that's just me. Um, okay, I think I'm putting my foot in here, but that's fine. Okay. I was going to contaminate it. I forgot what was on here before, but I think we're okay. But yeah, everybody, you do it differently. Do it how you want to. Now, there are times where I do want a splatter effect, and I'll do a splatter effect, but usually I do that on the right side as opposed to from the back to the front, like we're doing here. So let's see here. Now this is a good candidate for some of this stuff here. Let's use something shiny. Hi, Reba. Some of this stuff here, we'll shake it up well. Now the thing is applying it, I think. Should put some here in a. Sure. No, I've never heard of that. I mean, I've never really had reason to read children's books, but I will check that out. Shannon says, if you've ever read the book, The Pinkish, Purplish, Bluish Egg, this is what this print reminds. That's what this print reminds her of. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. All right. So. Oh, where did I do that? Okay, so again, if you're just joining us, this is Dr. P.H. Martin's iridescent copper plate gold calligraphy color ink. It's pretty, isn't it? So I'm just dipping the tip of my old toothbrush and then flicking it with my finger. Give her a flick, man. All right, before I get carried away, I'm going to cease and desist. I'm going to dry it, and then if it needs more, I'll do more. Maybe some white. I don't want to know why it reminds you of football, Carla, but I'm glad it does. That's lovely. It does need some white, though. I'm flicking here. Speaking of flicking, I'm flicking through my box here. Here's my white. Okay, this is shimmer spray and white linen. But again, I think it's going to be, I'm going to pour some into this thing and then use my brush. Because the last time I sprayed this, it went like, it covers a lot of area with one spray. So I'm going to be more cautious this time and just, you see, it's much more liquidy too. So I'm going to get these bigger spots. Lovely. Oh, very cool. Play called the Flea Flicker. See, I don't watch football, so thank you, Carla. I did not know that. Becky found a cube-shaped light with an ampersand. Oh, cool. I have one of those lamps that it's like a light that I got from Target way back in the day, but it's like it's my initial R, and it's got the little lights on. It's like like one of those like a theater like a cinema light. It's probably similar to what you're talking about, Miss Becky. Good find. Good find. So not one. It's pretty dry. Okay, just gotta be careful I don't make a mess out of that. Thank you, Shannon. All right. So Okay, what else we got here? Use some spray love. Eat spray love. I remember that book. Another good one. Now I'm looking for ones that don't have a lot of that aren't solid paint coverage. Because like there's no point in spraying that because there's really not going to be much to show there. So that might be all. This blue one here, yeah, we could do something with that. I'm going to do purple with this one. Let's get periwinkle. Periwinkle. Yeah, we'll do periwinkle with this one. We'll just start in. We'll spray. We'll do it. I'm going to spray all over with the water. Do a little spray all over with this periwinkle. And then this purple here. This is where I'm just like overdoing it, but it'll look really good. And maybe just to unk it up a little bit, I'm going to spray some of this yellow in certain areas, just to make it a little more unique, a little different. Now, instead of smooshing it around, I'm going to take some sketch paper. This is my piece of Yasutomo sketch paper. And rough side down, I'm going to plant a sucker right on here and soak up that goodness. Go all around. So this is an instance, Carol, if you're still watching, where I didn't spread it out, let it do its thing, and just pick it up with some other paper. So that's another way to do it without like spreading it out, I guess. That's true, K-pop mama. Did I say K-pop mama? Hello. I don't know if I ever did, but hello, welcome. All right, so we've got this paper we can use as a pickup, but look, that wasn't even like 5 minutes. We just like sprayed stuff, picked it up, and it transformed the print. It's really beautiful, really beautiful. And since I've got this, a little bit of this stuff here, I'm gonna just spray a little bit. Not much left. So, oh, I do have this. This is the cornflower blue mica spray. Always need a good shake because you can see like the mica always settles to the bottom of the bottle. You want to get that ball rolling in there to mix dispersal. All right. Now I'm going to, where's my dryer? Here we are. Oh, you know what I can do as well? All right, so you remember PMR Studio and Mariah had P use their new stencil to make prints with just white paint on the white paper, and then she sprayed them, and then she used them in the April color combo and collage. I think that's what I'm going to do. So look at how awesome the back looks of that. And it was even more awesome because sorry for all that background noise, because I added that yellow, which kind of greened up some of the blue. It kind of darkened up some of the, like, changed a little bit of the purple, but it all works together. Pretty fab. Try this one here while I'm at it. So let me get these out the way. But it is away. Back in the box. No, don't put me back in the box. Get back in the box. Sorry. Having a moment with spray bottles. These will get a bath later on. I'm just gonna put them in a jar over here for safekeeping. Get me a gel plane here. Oh, I've got some ink on there. Do you want to get? That's not going to make a difference. It's I was stamping with ink on paper, but that's not going to bother what we're going to do. So the stencil that Mariah used, that I'm going to use today, is this one here, the Cosmic Wave one. That will make some prints with white paper and white paint. And, I've added. This can go away. Hi, Darcy. Welcome, welcome. Everybody, it's Darcy. Party don't stop till I walk in. And I'm going to get some tissue too, because we're going to need some tissue to pick up. So get that. All right, goody, goody. Goody, goody. What's this here? This is Lucas Krill Titanium White. A little white on there. Oh, paint down, stencil down, paper down. So basically what I'm looking to do is use the white paint on the paper as a resist and create some cool painty paper. Oh, Paula, I meant to ask you, did you get to meet up with Yolande? Because I saw that she was in Amsterdam as part of her holidays. I was one curious if you guys were able to plan a meetup. Like I know you're busy and I know she's busy and probably has an itinerary, but I was curious. So you see here, white paint. Lovely. All right. Try to keep my hand on it so you don't get too dizzy. Don't you too dizzy. I do need to pick this up so I can flop off onto some paper here. And off quickly. And then I'll pull the first print on here. Yeah. See, I thought that that's kind of like what had happened was maybe you had things already going on. So that is a boo-hoo. But you tried. So and the ink came off too. That's great. All right, so we've got 3 sheets here. Let's do a couple on. Let's do one on the what do you call that stuff? The paper. Blah. Carnival wet shine. Using my knuckles here. My knuckles, we get right into all them openings. All the nooks and crannies there. Lovely. And then let's do the lava on some of this here too. I give that a second. Cleaning up here. spray mat back. So, are these dry? Almost dry. Almost dry. I have one more. Nope. I'm just gonna give this a quick buzz with the dryer. All right, let's see. Colors to use. Sprays. Let's use this peeled paint. I'm just gonna spray. I'm not gonna do any rubby just yet. I just want to see how this works, how this all reacts. Love it. Now, it did take in. So this was a flop off of the stencil, so you could see where it's whiter. That's where the paint is. And if I do. Give me a dream. Hi, how are you? Welcome. Lovely. Have fun. Now I could come in from the back too. Maybe we can intensify it. Just have that yellow. I don't know where I put it away. Now that may not be all peeled paint. That could be something else in there too. Don't know. But look how fun that is. And that's just the white paint. That cleanup paper. I think just this one. Just get some of that excess there. There you go. Oh, excuse me for one moment. Somebody hit my door. I don't know why they always nobody comes when I'm not on live stream. As soon as I get on live, they don't want to show up. Somebody was lost. Oh, okay. Something coming in to check. So you, yeah, you can go there. All right, so some of these are dry already. Yeah, that's dry enough. All right, so this one, I'm gonna come in from the back. Look at this, the white paint, just from that yellow spray. Crazy, man, crazy. Go ahead. Let's go back to the purple here, the laid back lilac. Some do some of this turquoise. So I've got these two colors so far. Oh my god. This is shine, but let's add some. Oh, this is broken. Yeah. Forgot that one. Spritzer's not working. All right. Take care, Rhonda. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Yeah, from the reason is because I don't want to put too much of the spray onto the actual paint. That's what's on the other side. So, this is blues. Let's see how much of this I can blend out. I love that you can see those little circles, but that's the sheet underneath. That's what you're seeing. I have a feeling these are going to be looking great on a box in my future. Now I got to remember that this thing stays a little wet because I'm picking up color from other stuff that was already down there. So if you're a purist, you want to be careful with that sort of thing, but I don't, it doesn't really bother me. So you see, it didn't affect the paint too much. And we still got this really cool effect. Nice. Wonder if it's less intense if I fold it in half. I apologize for anybody that's gotten dizzy. But yeah, I think this will be part of a box very soon. Two of those on tissue or just one? I did two on tissue. Oh, it's still on the plate, you silly goose. Get it off so it can dry completely. Still on the plate. Has anyone ever made alcohol inks with food coloring alcohol? I've heard of people doing that and they've had success. I've heard people making inks with the RIT dye kits. You know, go for it, try it. I say, why not? Just remember always when you're using alcohol in a spray situation, make sure you're in a well ventilated area. Extra safety, just wear a mask while you're using them. It's just, I think that's just important safety info. I'm gonna move this around. Get the more wet stuff over here. So let me see if I can imitate what I just did over here. Of course, there's one. This one. So how much of this is left here? Reba says she makes them from dried up marker cores. I've done that before, and it does work. You do get some interesting colors. Yep, that is a good idea. I'm all for anything that it's economical, and just make sure you do it safely. And yeah, nothing wrong with a good experiment. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's just like I literally just had that red one and I put it back in here. I'm a silly boy. No. Let it. Oh, that's the same one. All right, let me get some agua. Donde está? Here we go. Right here. A little water there. Move things around a bit. Also fill in these gaps here. Casey says, loving these colors, Eddie, giving 80s water cup vibes. You know what? That's so funny that because you're right. It really is. Hello, Mary Brown. How are you? Oh, that's lovely. Look at that. Who had a tracksuit in these colors? Y'all know you had tracksuits in these colors back in the day, right? Let's we do one more on the paper, and then I'm gonna go ahead and move on to picking things out of my magazines for for collage and whatnot. And then yeah, I think I'm just gonna go until 2 o'clock my time, which is about 29 minutes from now. So so, all right, so we use those. Let's see what else. The tracksuits, you mean, Casey? Uh, yeah, yeah, those cups. They're like there's a thing online called vaporwave. It's a sort of aesthetic from like the 80s and stuff. What's this? This is some blue sparkly stuff I made up. What's in here? It's got mica powders, 3 different blue paints, 3 different blue sprays. Let's first I'm gonna spray with water. And we have the track suits. Were very popular. Vibrant colors. Well, you're not gonna spray, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna dump you out. And we're gonna smoosh you around and then put this into some hot water so it can get all melty and clean. So here's another way to do this. Just take a brush and brush your stuff all over. Shiny stuff on there too. I don't think I ever had a tracksuit. I was more like my outfits were more preppy. Like I know my mother used to always get me these they were like they look like tennis outfits. Like you'd go to a tennis match, like the white shorts, the polo shirt. I had a lot of that. That's for sure. I don't know what's in here. This is peeled paint. I don't know. It doesn't smell good. There's a lot of stuff in there. Could be some alcohol. Who knows? What's this now? This is Lucky Clover. Hey, let's try some of that. Hello, Karen. How are you? Slapping paint on paper here. There we go. Takes a minute to get going, like some of us in the mornings. Well, hello, Anthony. How are you? It's been a minute. I hope you're well. With the I did, yeah, pop collar for sure. I'll have to dig out some photos. Let me see. I might have some here actually. I can grab quickly. This only thing that's no, these are all old, like super, like late 70s, early 80s. Although this was me in a tire swing, like them shorts. Them hideous shoes. I don't know what my mother was thinking. Long legs. Let's see. What's that in here? Yeah, we got picture time now. Let's see what I could. I'll see what I could show you. I'm not showing you anything that I. Yeah, I'm not showing you everything. Take a peek here. Oh God, that's me as a clown for Halloween. I think this was the first grade. That was a handmade costume. Remember I said I used to roller skate? Look, these are the roller skates. This is me Christmas time. I don't know what year, but definitely in the 80s. Check out those overalls. Big yellow tires, wheels. Yes, I'm wearing shorts in this. It's hard to tell, but yeah. I always had a tan and I was always dressed in something preppy or athletic. Goodness. Goodness. Oh. At the beach. Actually, this was the lake. We used to go to the lake a lot. If you're from the neighborhood of Massachusetts, we used to go to a lake called Lake Cochituate. It's one of those places that you got up early and you got up early. You took an hour from the city to get there, and you would sit in line and wait your turn to get in, and you get a little area with what do you call it? A little like a barbecue area, and my mom's friend Janet would bring us with her kids, her daughters, and she would make do grilled kielbasa at the lake. It was awesome. That is for sure. Need to dry this a little bit. Carla asks, "Do you have hee haw overalls?" My daughter did. She says there's a Facebook group for adults who had hee haw overalls. I think it's a recovery group. No, I wouldn't say they were hee haw ones because hee haw was before my time. That was more like my brother's time. But those that I was in were very hee hawish. It was a lot of plaid and stuff like that. But that was, that was the vibe back then. That was El Vibo. All right, let's make a little room out here. Get all this stuff over. Now, I did have several different overalls, and I loved my overalls. I never had a problem with them. Like some people would tease me about them, but like I never had a problem with them. I liked them. They were comfortable. Now, mind you, trying to get to the bathroom and then you know trying to get those little things off. Sometimes I had accidents, but what are you gonna do? My worst child memory. This is from Paula. My first child memory is regarding clothing my grand knitting us batwing sweaters from fully electrifying wool in vile colors. Wait, I'm trying to picture Paula, little Paula with a batwing sweater, setting off sparks in her house. Pew, 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 pew. Super Paula. All said with love. All said with love. Yeah, they were, Jeanette. They were definitely fashionable. Did you do the lake thing, Jeanette? Because I know Maine, there's a lot of beaches and stuff, but like I know there's lakes. That was a fun thing to do, the lake. Um, that's enough need. I don't know where the rest of them are. So I'll put you here. Right, so let's look through these for the last 20 minutes. I'm going to look through some magazines and cut stuff out. How about that? Oh, actually, I got to glue these stuff to my little book here. Say, this is one of my little, what do you call them? Oh, you grew up in Jersey. Okay. Well, you had the Jersey Shore you went to, so um, New Bedford, close to where I am now, Taunton. I'm in Taunton. So I'm gonna glue some stuff in here, if that's okay. All right, so don't know how many of you know this, but I suffer from mental health issues. And lately it's been a pain in my tuchus, to say the least. And sometimes what I do, because I got to keep my hands busy, it's one of those things. The mind is going a million miles a minute, and so are the hands, and it's just in order to focus, that I got to make sure the hands are doing something. So I took a pad of post-its out in bright pink. I grabbed a pencil and just started doodling. So I'm just going to glue these doodles to my book. Why not? And I'm going to glue. So look at the transfer of the pencil. So I'm going to glue them. I should have thought about this. Actually, I can glue them underneath and kind of like do it that way. I'll show you my doodles. Oh. No, it's probably hard to see. And I apologize. So I'm going to glue them down as if they were, Post-its, because that's what they are. But that way I can flip through. Look at them. Yes, that's what I had a lot of, the Oshkosh Bagosh. Yep. And it's funny because I would always be made fun of, but like I said, I loved my overalls. And then they had the cool pouch in the front you could put stuff in. Some people just don't know how to live. I watched a good movie yesterday that I highly recommend if you like a good scary movie. It is the latest what's the latest film, I guess was the word, from The Conjuring Part 4, and it's on Amazon Primes. So good. Very, very good. One of those horror movies that has a little bit of everything, but it also has those parts where classic horror movies shine, in so much as where it's not what you see that's scary, it's the feeling, right? It's a vibe. So it's not like, showing the gratuitous stuff. It's like the whole building of anticipation, I guess is the word. I could never wear them now. Right, Paula? No, that's the thing. Even back then, I had issues with, the overalls and having to get them off quickly because, sometimes you're busy playing as a kid and you don't have time to go to the bathroom and then you go, "Ooh, gotta go, gotta go." It's the music, it's the way the camera moves, it's the whole styling of the scene, um, all of that. And if it's done just right, man, just it terrify you. And I loved it. I loved every second of it. It was so much fun. Snake, frog, and even a little baby. So Karen says, yes, my son Joshua was always in John John's when he grew up. He still loved the preppy look. Yeah, it's some kids, we love it. Thanks, K-pop. Graham says he got a ton of trouble as a kid for putting a frog in the pocket of my Oshkosh overalls. My mom was not pleased. Carrot says yes, and my boys and one of my girls would have a little snake, frog, even a little baby possum once. Oh my god! Oh god, Carla, you could attach a leash to those overall backs. And I never did that with my daughter or granddaughter, but I kept my grandson in a halter leash all the time. Oh, I'm so picturing you just, yeah, Carla, that's fantastic. I love it. Love it. These are my depression doodles. There's even a song that goes with them. And who knows, maybe one day I'll get design inspiration from these and we'll see. Yeah, Casey, it's the Conjuring series. So this is part 4 of the Conjuring, the movies that star Vera Farmiga, she's really good at these movies. She's just a good actress. And I just totally did not do that right. I'm gonna have to overlap. Or I'm just gonna come this way. Go this way. Um yeah, it's part 4. It's like the final story, the final case of the couple took on. Because it's based on a true couple, on a real couple. Hi, Kat. These are my depression doodles, Becky, that I'm gluing down into my book for future reference, for safekeeping, for remembrance, for the heck of it. Why not? So yeah, literally got to keep. Sometimes the mind wants to do what it wants to do, and you got to find ways to control it. Now this says, yeah, you don't need to read that, but it's a fun doodle. Let's see here. Magic Mike overalls. Oh, Paula, I would love to see that. That would be fantastic. Okay, what is that? Graham says, I used to ball up the $1 bill I needed to buy school lunch. I watered up soap and Paul and just handed it to the lunch lady. You were that kid, Graham. I love it. Here's your wadded up dollar bill, lady. Yeah, so it's just my doodles from the past couple of days. You do what you do. You do what you can to cope. That's what I do. My hands are. I'm like, why are my hands so filthy? I've just been gluing. Forgot about all the dyeing. All right, last 10 minutes. Let's go ahead and do some cutting ups. Let's see what I can find in these magazines here. Fun. Now, I was wondering, I looked through some of these the other day. I was wondering, like, would an image like this be good to do an image transfer with? Because some of these, they don't have like a ton of contrast. So I don't know if they would be good. Something like that would be fun to do an image transfer with. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna yank that one out gently. He was wide open unless he was asleep. I got 3 of those stuffed animal leashes. I had 2 monkeys and a puppy so I could wash them. I tried to get them back. Carla, too funny. Now, see, what about this as an image transfer? I would love to do that, and I wonder if this would work as a transfer. Get a little doggy ear that page. I do have some small. Where are my small post-its? Do I have small ones? I thought I did. If not, here. I'm gonna do this. Did you love my pictures, Mariah? I showed some pictures. Well, Eddie. That'd be cool for a transfer too. You know, she looks like, the singer Ray, Raye. If you're a YouTuber after this, she did a couple of performances on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert last night, and oh my gosh, she just one song called "Joy." It's so good, and she does it with her sisters, who are just as good singers as she is, just as beautiful. Definitely worth it. Definitely puts a kick in your step. These are fun. This would be a fantastic image transfer here. Very much so. So maybe I'll do another live soon and we'll work on image transfers. How about that? Well, sometimes they need a leash, Carla. You know, that was the color combo green. Yeah. This one here, the how's that called now? The drink, absinthe. Speaking of preppy, here's Ralph Lauren. Sassy. Look at all the jewel tones are fantastic. Meow meow. I don't F with the Jenners. I don't like them. Right, Karen? Yeah, you didn't get lost. You didn't run into a car. Or in the middle of the street. This is great. This is just love it. I used to love getting fashion magazines all the time. Again, I'm gonna try that with the transfer. I could even use that one too, but I like that for an image transfer. Very cool. Oh, you, Burberry. Hey, Foxy. I'm gonna cut Foxy out. We need Foxy. We've got Foxy with bricks. Foxy bricks. To say the least. This is another one. Ugh. I'm gonna waste my time with her. Good to have a watch, but what's on the other side? I do like that for a transfer. I just don't like the name there, but I'll keep these intact for now. Interessante. So these are fashion magazines, so I'm not going to get a lot of stuff to cut out. But it's good to peruse through to get some stuff for image transfers as well. Night repair cream. She's like 17 years old. What does she need night cream for? Girl, please. Get me a woman in her 40s. That's what we need to see. Like those ads with Pam Anderson, which, no makeup and whatever. And she's real. I was talking about this the other day, the Laura Piana. That's like one of the best wools out there that you can get. They make I know for men, I used to sell the men's coats, which are not cheap. They're very, they're so soft and beautiful. Image transfer, Max Mara, which is great. It's framed out. I don't need to have the brand name in there, and I still got the beautiful image. Perfect. Look at there. Looks like a Christy Hartman stencil on those dresses. Doesn't it? Sorry about the glare. All right. Well, we didn't do a lot with the magazines today, guys. It's almost that time. But I think that I got some cool stuff to do transfers. And so I think for the next live, we'll do some image transfers and hopefully, get some good stuff out of that and get some practice. Girl, get your head out of that horse. That's not cute. Spoons, that's cute. Cut that out. Palm trees. When I walk, that's how far I extend my legs. Foot first, girl. Foot first. Oh, God. Her again. Funky. That is a lot of sequins on there. Hydrating heroes. Be fun. Should cut that out. Some of these ads might as well say, you know what? You're too ugly to live. Just put a bag over your head. God. There you go. Look, Paula, life is keen. We're going to end on that. Life is keen because Paula's the queen. Thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this. And don't forget to hit like and share this with somebody who might like it. Bye, everyone. Take care.